I get the feeling that we'll be needing a good chunk of moon rock down the line once the new content drops, but getting a pile of the stuff doesn't really come all that easy. That is, unless you know how to abuse the system instead of just risking life and limb, but more importantly, your time within the meteor fields. But today, I will be discussing two methods for farming moon rock, but we'll really just show and flesh out one of them, and I'll tell you why later. For now, I ask you to head out into the world to deface and destroy public property, or really just smash the homes of our porky companions. Being able to set up our own pig houses later is key to this farm, so hammer any hut you see, as each 2 you destroy actually equals 1 home for us to build. So heading to the fat man himself is a good place to start. But also don't forget to look in and around the birch biome too, as there is always a loner looking to live out their days away from the others. So just show him the error of his ways by taking his home for your own. But another good place to look are the deciduous forest biomes. They're the ones with the thick forests of trees, and pig houses do tend to be kind of amongst them all. So head on in and take them down. And finally, pig villages. These are actually set pieces within the game that can spawn almost anywhere, and usually have about 5 to 9 houses available for you to smash to bits. We will be discussing these more come the video about pigmen themselves, but for now, just smash. As far as how much loot you'll be bringing back to the Moonstone, I can't really help you there. Every world is different, and thus every one will have varying numbers of butts, boards, and stone. But whatever the case, you'll still need to make some space around the stone itself for our new homes. So go ahead and whip out your axe and get to work on pounding the suspicious sculptures and moon rubble away. And depending on how big you plan on making things, you may even need to fell some trees too. So why not go around and destroy all of nature's beauty, why don't you? And once that's done, it's time to begin construction by prototyping our pig houses. They use 4 boards, 3 cut stone, and 4 butts each. So you can see why I implored you to go around smashing as many as you can. Then, I will need you to configure them in whichever way you like, but you still need to keep them relatively close while you're at it. And if you haven't guessed it by now, we will be utilizing the mechanics within the Moonstone event itself to aid in our farming. So, we must also prepare for the mob onslaught that comes with it. We could certainly use end tables, but holy crap is that going to cost you an arm and a leg. And I'd be willing to bet that most of you out there may not even know how to get the recipe to make them to begin with. Are they useful? Very. But are they efficient? Not at all. And unfortunately, we can't be using walls either, for if you recall, the mobs that take part in the event want nothing but to destroy the Moonstone and stop the event. And they will let nothing get in their way. Now, there is a way to get around that, but if we want efficient, we must look elsewhere. It's why fossil fragments are the way to go once again. Only this time, I will remind you all of where to get them for yourselves. Also, make yours symmetrical to make up for my abomination here. I don't even know how I managed to do this. But head on down under and locate some stalagmites, the source of our fossil fragments. I have always found that these larger ones here have a better chance at dropping one, even 2, but any stalagmite will actually do for you. But what you are really after are called spalagmites. Careful though, cave spiders actually call these places home, so you will have to be prepared for a fight. You'll know it's a stalagmite as it will be covered in webbing, and I ask you to mine them as they have an increased chance to drop 2 fossils each time, and the more, the merrier. Oh, and while you're down here, you will need to make a pit stop at the ancient pseudoscience station in order to nab yourself a star caller staff. There is no event without one, so do not forget it. We are just about done here, but there's just one last piece to the puzzle. Butts. Well, rather, we need to use some bait, but since we all know how much pigmen love butts, why not give them what they want? Because the whole point of using bait in Don't Starve farms is to make the mobs involved work in ways they don't normally work. Like how you'll notice that it is dusk, but pigmen are still outside and continue their quest to devour the butts of their fallen friends and family. Bait is integral to producing efficient results, so do not forget it. Preparations complete and a full moon in full swing, it is time to begin. Place your Starcaller staff within the moonstone and the event will kick off. Now, there are two options available to you here. Number one being the obvious. Just wait until the event is finished after about a minute of just standing around. Or you could just immediately take out the staff as the event starts to quickly turn all surrounding mobs into moon sculptures. Either way, you will soon be having a ton of mobs ready to be mined for your pleasure. So get to work as it's bloody freezing around here. So grab a pickaxe and make the rounds. Each sculpture has a chance to drop more than one moon rock. So just pray to the 7 for that good drop rate. And in the end, I personally walked away with over 2 stacks of moon rock. More than enough to complete all the crafts related to it and still come out with some left. So, for whatever Klei has planned for all this celestial stuff, at least we now know where to nab a crap ton of it quickly. And don't forget, this can be done at every full moon night from now on. But before we go, I will mention, there is another, far more efficient method that involves hounds. But since it's a farming technique that leads to more beyond just moonrock, I'm saving it for the next video. But for now, I hope folk out there have learned how to amass some moony stones, and perhaps even learn how to go about farming pigs as well. For now, take care folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!